All this Volkswagen Polo Cup action is proudly brought to you by Astron Energy, Volkswagen Motorsport, and Dunlop Tires. Welcome to round 2 action at Kyalami Grand Prix Circuit, a bumper event getting both regional and national championship categories together, and a big crowd has come up to be entertained by all of those categories. But before we get into the Astron Energy Polo Cup round 2, let's see what happened in Cape Town at Kyalami at round 1. Rory Atkinson was quickest and put it on pole position and was going to be a tough man to beat. Ethan Kutsia would certainly be pushing hard to try and stay with him, as would Tyler Robinson, who had a fantastic pole position in the qualifying but couldn't quite get it ready in the Super Pole. Rory Atkinson had massive problems going into turn 1 though, as you could see, falling all the way back. Lonica Martins ended up on the sideline as well. Her first debut in the new Polo Cup unfortunately ended up with her on the sideline and out. A massive battle started to rage at the front end and tapping between teammates and Srin Rajpal. Rajpal getting a baptism of fire and a big welcome to Polo Cup with the new look polos out on circuit. Massive battle forming just behind as well for the Masters category. And the Masters category is all about Wayne Masters, but he had a huge mountain to climb. Not the one just down the road in Cape Town. No, he had to try and find a way through on Smallburger. Race 1 was all about the 2 Lee Thompson racing machines, and Ethan Kutsia took the victory, beating his teammate to the line by a couple of hundredths of a second. And look how tight it ended up. Absolutely brilliant stuff. In the second race, it was Hannes Skippers who started on the front row. Best start out of the Dentist man, as we've seen from him in a long time. And fantastic to see him going, but unfortunately he was already bucked out as Mo Karodia went fighting hard down into turn 1. He was tucked right behind the pole man. And this time, as you can see, Skippers got it out of shape right from the word go. That was not what he wanted. And to put him right into the clutches of Tyler Robinson, who was pushing hard. Ethan Kutsia looking for another victory. Would he find it? We'd have to wait and see. He has a big look. And, it was a fantastic look into turn 2 Castle Corner and up into turn 2 now. Mo Karodia dropping down into third place, promoting Ethan Kutsia up into second. In the Masters, Smallburger once again was the man to catch. But this time out, he was outgunned properly because Wayne Masters came fighting with everything he could and put it right at the front and disappeared, getting away from both Smallburger and John Kruger. Phenomenal battle would rage a little bit further back from them. And great to see Roberto Franco making his debut in the Masters class, but not such a great debut there for the Cincinnati man and Bjorn Berthold ending up on the sideline. It was Rory Atkinson who took the second victory, and the Lee Thompson Racing boys were right on his tail with Ethan Kutsia in second and Mo Karodia in third. Mo would start in third for the third and final heat of a 3-race format in Cape Town. Alongside the pole man there, Rory Atkinson, was Tyler Robinson. She too was looking for a chance to try and get to the front end. But what a start came out of Karodia. Absolutely no one even seeing anything other than the back of that car when they went down into Hole's Hook. And that's basically how it would stay. The battle would be for second place, and the battle would rage all the way through the third and final heat into the dying light as well in Cape Town. And absolutely brilliant stuff to see all of these cars out in resplendent nature. Brand new machinery, of course, with new little modifications done. That wing certainly making them look a little bit more racy. It was a fantastic battle in the Masters yet again, but Wayne Masters was the master, and no one had an answer to him whatsoever. I saw another bit of action with Bjorn Berthold not loving life in Cape Town, particularly down in Cape Town Corner. The victory would come Mo's way, and the third and final victory and checkered flag went to Mo Karodia from Lee Thompson Racing and Fast 5 Motorsport to wrap up a fantastic first round of the Astron Energy Polo Cup. And after round 1, Ethan Kutsia had a lead in the championship, headed to Kyalami. Round 2 at the famous Kyalami Grand Prix circuit, and all-important qualifying about to happen out there right now. This is where it's all going to take place, and it's very important to try and get up to the front end. As much as the circuit gives you lots of room to play and there's a lot of time to slipstream, the all-important extra point that qualifying pole position gives you is vital. And they'll all be fighting hard for it, and you can see just how hard they were pushing. Teammates trying to work together, get that slipstream ability, and even a couple of non-teammates working by themselves or with other drivers from other teams to ensure that they were at the front end after the checkered flag came out. It was Rory Atkinson who put it on pole position, with Mo Karodia behind him and Anthony Lessing. An incredible start there from the young superbike rider, up in third. In the Masters, it was John Kruger, a long way ahead of Masters and Smallburger. Big battling going to ensue now for the top 6. And by the top 6, I mean the Super Pole. But before we go to Super Pole, let's catch up with our pole man in the Masters.
Yeah, I was lucky there because I tucked in behind Wayne for qualifying, and he was kind enough to punch a hole in the air for me and give me the brake markers. So thanks to him, actually. I think if he'd been behind me, it would have been the other way around.
Have a look at that new wing on these cars. But let's catch up with the wingman, Roshan Goodman, who got third in qualifying.
Yeah, it was just a thing of just putting everything together really nicely. I mean, in practice we were up and down all over the place, but I think in quali we just locked in and that just put it together.
Tyler Robinson heads out now looking for that super pole. She's going to look to make history with only the second lady ever to get it if she gets it. But Mo Karodi, after that victory in Cape Town, will certainly be fired up. Let's see if it's frenetic or finesse that we're seeing from the ladies. In these cars, you have to have as much finesse as possible. You cannot fight the vehicles to get to the front end. And the checkered flag comes out. Is it enough? Yes, it certainly is. Amazing effort there from Tyler Robinson. Only becomes the second lady ever to put it into Super Pole for Polo Cup.
Yeah, no, it's definitely the biggest surprise. I had no idea. I didn't think my lap time was good enough to be pole. I thought, no, maybe fourth or fifth or something like that. And then when Tasman showed me number one, my heart just sank because I couldn't believe it, yeah.
Welcome back now for race one of Astron Energy Polo Cup. 26 cars about to go to battle. Some happier than others by the looks of things. Lonica Martins definitely wants to turn her luck around after being off track in Cape Town. There's a big battle between the two Lee Thompson Racing teammates, but keep an eye out on Divyan Naidu, who's also found some serious pace this weekend, as has Shrin Rajpal and Nirav Singh. But they've all got to try and catch the lady who's on pole. It's ladies first here. In terms of this first race, Shrin Rajpal in that dub core machine, coming from the back of the pack, not quite where he wants to be, alongside Lonica Martins. There you can see her pink and blue car from Team Red Racing alongside. What a start from Ethan Kutsia, pulling out right from the word go as we went on board with him there for the start. And as they head down towards turn one, looks like he's tucked in right behind his teammate Mo Karodia. Now, Tyler Robinson has got pole position. Can she hang on and outgun the car on her right-hand side? It's going to be very tough to keep out Rory Atkinson under the brakes, but looks like she's done it. Oh, and Rory Atkinson got a little tap as well by the looks of it. Yes, coming close, up close in quarters with Mo Karodia coming out of turn one. They seem to have sorted everything out, and everybody just tucks in through Barbecue and Nixke. Here comes Ethan Kutsia using the inside line to try and get through, and what a move here from Karodia. Trying to stay there with Kutsia, but watch on the left-hand side. There's a car that is threatening big time to come through there and looking for a way past. If I'm not mistaken, it's Carl Visser. Carl Visser with a fantastic start as well. Look at this as they fan out. It is Tyler who goes down into clubhouse initially in front, but Rory Atkinson is right there on her tail looking for a way through. Then it's the two Lee Thompson boys, and right behind that, no, it's Anthony Lessing. It was Lessing who was on the inside there. What a start, using some superbike lines through there. I like it. That's the way we like to go racing. Two-wheelers getting into a four-wheel machine and showing the boys and girls the way around. Let's go on board here with the doctor. He's looking pretty good here as Hunter Skippers this weekend in the DDS machine. His teammate just up the road from him, the two Dubcore and DDS cars there, of course, out of Works Motorsport, having a fantastic run so far. And he's had a great start to the season. Remember, we saw him on the podium in Cape Town. So he's looking for more here. But he's got to find a way through on Berthold, who he's not normally used to fighting with. And on the inside, whoa, here we go. It's getting real as well. Was that Goodman? Roshan Goodman getting up close and personal with him as well as they head down the mine shaft for the first time. Goodman's already shown great pace. He got up to third place in qualifying, and he's now giving the dentist a run for his money. They go down into Crocodiles. Wide line from Tyler. Whoa. Oh, you're lucky you're not riding in MotoGP there, Tyler. You might have got a long lap penalty for that little line. But needless to say, stays in front ahead of Atkinson. Karodia clipping the curbs, using every inch and a little bit more of the circuit to stay in that top six hunt. And his tail is Lessing. What a start there from the insurer's car. Brilliant stuff there from the young man. And looking, considering the fact that he was involved in a motor vehicle accident himself and his dad only a couple of weeks ago, he's got the sign-off and he is absolutely hauling with that sign-off to stay in the top five. Oh, can you believe it? It's gone wrong again here for Lonica. Lonica Martin slowing up as she goes into the mine shaft. She should be flat out through there, but that car seems to have got a bit of problem. Oh, Skippers with a bit of a tap on the back end of Lessing. That's going to open up the door for Shrin. Shrin Rajpal going to try and go around the outside as they head down. This is brilliant stuff. Great onboard stuff here from our dentist. Playing camera in. Oh, there you go. Lessing, corner pocket, onto the right-hand side and into the S's. Back to the front, Mo Karodia now putting the pressure onto the back end of Tyler Robinson, trying to find a way through. Tyler soaking the pressure up here big time. This is brilliant stuff. They go onto the short straight, coming out of Yuxka and Barbecue. And right on the tail. In fact, looking in that rearview mirror, you could see Ethan Kutsia itching to pounce. further back, looking for the Masters. And the Masters battle is raging big time. As you can see, the Performance Masters car there, Wayne Masters, got a couple of cars in between himself and his usual contenders. Pierluigi Mussolini is in there. Elio's a little bit further back. That's Pierluigi's dad. But they're trying to catch John Kruger, who's just up the road there. There's a thank you from Mr. Masters. That's quite nice to see that, actually. Giving Pierluigi a thanks for letting him through, realizing that the Masters battle is there. I think Pierluigi could learn a lot from those drivers tucked in behind them. Berthold runs wide. He's got some pressure coming from Charles Smallberger, who's also got pressure from Carl Fisser on his inside as they go there. In fact, that's on Carl Fisser. That is a magnificent move being thrown in there. Absolutely brilliant stuff there from Berthold. That's Judd Berthold. I thought it was for similar colours. And Berthold is now getting into the mix as well. Fighting it out there as they get to the top of the hill and up towards Leerkop. He finds a way through. Great job. And it's Berthold versus Berthold. They put the meat in the sandwich at Charles Smallberger. Or should we say the meat's in the burger now as they come in there. Tucked in as well. Look out for Roshan Goodman putting the pressure on as well. The two Team Red Boys working with the two Bertholds. Bit of an in-house fight there between family and teammates as they head towards Crocodiles. Behind that you can see Shrin Rajpal and coming along for the ride. Not too far behind is Divya Naidu. I was about to say, and have a look at that, Bevan Masters into the mix as well. That's his first outing in these cars. He's never driven these cars before and already starting to show a bit of prowess. Remember, that's a man who's been around in front-wheel drive polos for a long time. Almost the same amount of time that his brother's been involved, and he's driving in the Masters. So Bevan is certainly showing what that CPS warehouse car can do. He's tucked in now behind the Kyalami exhaust machine of Singh. Nirav Singh, the Silver Dream Racer, in absolute flat-out mode. Mo Karodia now, late braking towards Crowthorne. He's going to try the cut back. But Tyler saw him coming. Tyler shut the door. She's going to hold that inside line. She's going to make him work for it, though. Karodia's got through. Has he managed to get ahead, though? Yes, he has. Mo Karodia has got through and found a way to the front. So can he make it back-to-back victories? That's what he's going to attempt to do here. Tyler's dropped back. Rory Atkinson on the grass. He's now going to have to fight off Ethan Kutsia, who just gets past him. So it's now Mo Karodia ahead of Tyler Robinson and Ethan Kutsia in third. What an absolutely epic race here at Kyalami. Exactly what happens when we come to the Kyalami Grand Prix circuit. This is the type of racing that all of these crowds, look at them, on the right-hand side there, have come out to see. And Astron Energy Polo Cup, once again, is not failing to deliver, but delivering in massive amounts of action when it comes to racing on the black stuff. Karodia now leads out. Can he keep it all together? He's got to just keep it smooth. No, he can't. He loops it out. Oh, no. Mo Karodia has thrown it away. Going down into the S's. That's going to allow Tyler back to the lead. Karodia goes back on track. How far back did he drop, though? Probably about 4 or 5 cars. He's not into the second pack yet, but they're about to catch him. Here they come. Led out by Judd Berthold. You can see Shrin Rajpal up the road, and he's not going to let Judd Berthold get thrown in. That's for sure. Up into Leerkop. Late braking from Karodia. A little bit of a slide. The back end of that car, those rear Dunlops seem to be slipping and sliding a bit more. We saw how he lost control going into the S's. Speaking of slipping and sliding, here comes the second Berthold car. In left, in right, you name it. He's getting it absolutely lit. That's a front-wheel drive car, by the way, BJ. Not a real-wheel drive car, buddy. But you're making it look like a drifting machine through there. Brilliant race action there from Cincinnati, man. He's got Smallberg on his outside. He's got Zach Goodman tucked in behind him. Yes, once again. And there comes Divya Naidu. Not too far behind that. They're lining up. They really are. Tyler Robinson has been gifted this victory after a little bit of an issue there coming into the final lap. And Mo Karodia was just unfortunate. But needless to say, you got to be in it to win it. And Tyler's there and the flag is out. She's going to make history. She's going to become the second lady ever to win an Astron Energy Polo Cup race. And does exactly what her mentor did a couple of seasons back in Tasman Pepper. Brilliant stuff there to beat out the two Lee Thompson Racing boys. And in fact, Lessing came up to third. Here's the Masters. Down into the final corner. Wayne Masters putting the pressure onto John Kruger. Is Kruger going to hang on? Oh, Masters going to try and get the drive to the line. He's going to get the victory. What a move there. He sneaks through. Masters takes the victory. Brilliant stuff there, winning out and beating Smallberger to the line. And what a run from Mike Barbaglia, coming through for third place in the Masters. So it's Tyler Robinson, Ethan Kutsia, Anthony Lessing, Atkinson and Fisser. And a great job there from Wayne Masters, beating Derek Smallberger and Mike Barbaglia in the paybar car, who just snuck ahead to beat out John Kruger in the closing stages. But the happiest person in Kyalami right now is that young lady.
Feels incredible. I can't even feel my face, because at a point I thought I was going to be third, and then everything just worked out in my favor. So I'm super stoked. I don't know. Thank you to my team. Thank you to my coach Tasman, and most importantly, thank you to my dad. The day's not over, but I've achieved more than what I thought this weekend, so I'm very happy.
Cool, calm and collected for Wayne Masters.
The start wasn't too bad, but John still got the lead down to the first corner. And then it looked like his car pulled away in the first 3-4 laps. Then my car came on strong. And then he caught up with the youngsters, and then I didn't have a choice. The youngsters held him up, and that gave me an opportunity to get past him. Otherwise, I think he might have just run away with it. But yeah, it was a brilliant race, lots of action.
Welcome back to Kyalami and the second round of the Astron Energy Polo Cup. Dunlop are in the house. They're basically supplying almost every single category on the Extreme Festival of Motorsport nowadays. It's fantastic to have them here, and of course we can't go racing without them. Let's see what John Kruger's messing around with there. Maybe a little maneuvering there to help him get through those younger drivers that Wayne Masters was talking about just before the break. But we're ready now for race number 2. Let's get them on the line and go racing. On board with Srin Rajpal. Can he go slightly better than what he did in the first one? Let's wait and see as those lights go out. He's got to catch the man out front. Visser's on pole as they head down towards turn 1. Can he keep it all together now? Oh, what a start once again there, coming from Karodia and from Thompson. As they come through there, the Lee Thompson Racing boys are in it. And look at this, Ethan could see us side by side, literally wing mirror to wing mirror. Can they fan out and be wide enough? We'll have to wait and see. Well, it's Karodia who's got the whole shot. He's going to look to try and change his luck completely compared to what happened in race number 1 when we saw him spin out from the lead. Atkinson has dropped right to the back of the pack. Something not going right there on the start there for Roars. As they come up now towards Yuxian Barbecue, inside line from Kutsia, tucking in there with Lessing. From the back end, great start from Nirav Singh. He's up ahead of Rory Atkinson. Oh, there's a touch in the background. Fists are coming together. Yeah, that's Charles Fists are coming together with Bjorn Bertolt. Teammates out of Team Red Racing. That's not what you wanted to be doing there, boys. Try and keep it together. Don't take each other out. They have to start right at the back. They're going to come through the Masters now as well, if they can catch them. The way the Masters are going today, not going to be easy. And they had a slightly separate start. They've included a slightly longer start there between the Masters and the Cup, so that the Masters don't catch the back end of the Cup class. Unfortunately, though, when crashes happen like we just saw now, that could possibly still be the case. We're back on board here with the Doctor. This man has just got better and better every time he gets behind the wheel, and he's certainly loving life in these new Polos. Lessing's forcing the young lady winner from race 1 in the AF Fans car wide there, Tyler Robinson. She's going to have to try and go around the outside. She does get through on Anthony Lessing. Lessing goes defensive as they get up towards the top end of Leeuwkop. He's got 3 or 4 cars looking to try and hunt him down. Judd Berthold, what a start there from the man at the front end of the field. Can he keep it all together now to stay with that top 5? It's exactly what he'd like to do, but not always as easy as it sounds. Someone smoking coming out of the S's. I'm not quite sure who that is, but there's definitely a car with a bit of an issue. They're coming up to the top of the hill. Those are the 2 cars that came together earlier on. That is Bjorn Berthold, and he's trying to close down on the back end of Carl Visser. Trying to work together. They should work together to stay ahead of the Masters. In the Masters, that looks like it's Smallberger. Yes, it is. It's Derek Smallberger. The rubbing's actually coming off one of those cars in front. I think it might be off Visser's car. Might be a bit of bodywork rubbing on the tyre there on Visser's car as they head through and down into the mine shot towards Crocodiles. Smallberger, Masters and Kruger. That's the front end of the Masters category. See a long way back now compared to what we saw in the first one. There was a lot more up close and personal there. We go on board here with Srin Rajpal coming out of the final corner at Ingwe. As he gets through the gearbox, does he go push the pass along the straightaway? No, he doesn't. Ethan Kutsia certainly did. Kutsia gets through on him and he uses his push to pass to great Paul there. Well done to him to find a way through on Srin Rajpal. Rajpal trying to get into the slipstream and use that slipstream down towards Crowthorne. He closes up under braking. It's a good effort there from the Dubcore man, having a little dab on the inside. His teammates right behind him. And they've got Berthold along for the ride. Tucked in there, 4 cars fighting for second. First place is gone. Karodia is not going to make a mistake like he did in the first one. He's going to try and keep it smooth and as fast as that Fast 5 car can go. Back on board with Skippers. Dentist now looking to try and close it down onto the back end of his teammate. These two trying to work hard and try and find a way through to at least the podium. It'd be magic to have both of them on the overall podium as well. That's exactly what the Works team would love to have as they head towards Sunset and now towards Clubhouse. Late braking. And a look on the inside, but you have to go defensive, watching the man just behind him, that youngster coming through there. Remember, that's your rookie cup champion from last year. And starting on the front row was an incredible effort there from Judd, getting that fast lap in there in the qualifying. But have a look at Tyler Robinson. She's fighting hard there with Smallberger, fighting for 6th place this time. So Tyler, not quite the same place she was earlier on. And it just shows you how vitally important qualifying is. If you don't get it right and you're not up in that top 6, it makes it exceptionally difficult for you to try and hang on. They've closed the gap down slightly now on Ethan Kutsia. Kutsia had a little bit of breathing room, but that's certainly gone away completely now between the two works cars behind him as they head down towards the sweep. Have a look and see, is this everything she's got? Oh yes, it is. That's a lovely shot there on board with Raj Paul. Fifth gear, everything she's got going through, and now down the gearbox into third as they come into Crocodiles. Inside line, it looks like there's a problem there. Emsley, I think, is out. Yeah, Milan Emsley is parked on the right-hand side there. It's a bit of a pity there to lose the fifth car out of Team Red Racing. Young man going incredibly well, but just not quite getting to grips with it just yet. Hasn't quite gelled with that car in the runs that he's had so far, but we're expecting big things from him coming out of his racing career before. This is Smallberger closing on the back end of Tyler Robinson. They've got probably about 1 or 2 laps to go now in this race, and there's nothing in it for second place. A little bit of a gap and a nice battle for 6th place as well. They're starting to rage. Atkinson is closing things down. Speaking of closing down, well, there you go. That's a great shot coming on the Masters side of things. John Kruger trying to close the gap between the first 2 cars in the Masters, which is this man and the man just ahead of him. Wayne Masters fighting for Performance Masters honours. Once again looking for a double victory here. That'll make it 5 out of 5 if he gets it, by the way. He took 3 wins in Cape Town. Difficult man to beat. Smallberger wants this one badly though in that Sabertech machine. And you can see just how late he's braking to keep Wayne Masters behind him. How many times have these two gone at it in the past? A lot, I can tell you. And John Kruger's reveling in being part and parcel of it in that Habot car from Team Red Racing. So it's OMP Sabertech and Performance Masters on the inside. There you go. Can he get it through? Can he make it sticky? Forces Smallberger wide. Derek just soaks the pressure up. They go wing mirror to wing mirror again. Here we go. Look at this. This is brilliant stuff. Masters around the outside of Sunset. You've got to have a big set of cojones to get this one right. Look at how he's working the car. He's got it on the outside. That inside mirror. Look, you can see Smallberger's car in the mirror there. And now you can see John Kruger's car. As they head towards Clubhouse, has he got the inside line? Is he going to make it stick? Yes, he does. Cements it after about 4 corners ago, setting that up. That's how long it takes the big 5.5K circuit at Kyalami. But he's now at the front. He's got Derek Smallberger on his tail, and he'll look to try and return the favour as soon as possible as they go through the S's. They've pulled a big margin over the rest of the Masters category. It's Mike Barbaglia, I think, still in 4th place, though, in the Masters category. But he's now got a couple of the youngsters that were involved earlier on. Having to deal with them is not an easy thing to do. This little battle, though, has raged all race long. But take nothing away from the front end of this field. Look at the gap that Mo Karodia has pulled, leading into the final lap and getting away from this absolutely hard-charging 26-strong field of Polos. He took the final victory in Cape Town. He's going to take the final victory at Kyalami. What a start to the season here for Mo Karodia, Fast 5 and Lee Thompson Racing. Certainly a man to watch out for in the future of 2025's racing. In the Masters category, waiting for them to come to the line as the rest of the field go through there. A great effort there from the teammate. Ethan Coetzee in the mix. Might keep Ethan Coetzee at the top end of the championship overall. Masters is certainly going to be at the top end of the Masters category with another victory. And a very late dive there coming from John Kruger. Side by side, but Smallberger hangs on for second, John Kruger for third. And that wraps up our Astron Energy Polo Cup Race 2. Mo Karodia, Ethan Coetzee 1 and 2 for Lee Thompson Racing. Raj Paul in third beats out Skippers and Judd Berthold the pole man. And further back in 14th, Wayne Masters, Derek Smallberger and John Kruger, your top 3 in the Masters category in Polo Cup at Kyalami. And let's catch up now with the ever young Derek Smallberger for second.
It was hard work. I got past him on the start, kept it there for 6 laps, and then he just, in the bowl, I made a mistake a few times and he caught me. And then we went through turn 2, side by side. I held him back, and then he got me again into Sunset, side by side. And eventually in the next corner he got me, and yeah, so I couldn't fend him off anymore. But we had a fantastic day. Nice, clean, tough racing.
Derek, he had a great start, better than mine, and John was right on his tail, but I managed to hold John off. And then chasing down Derek the whole race. I tried left, I tried right. He kept covering the door. Eventually I forced a little error and then I managed to get through him, but it was a hell of a race.
After that lap 1 incident, here's the 2 boys involved.
Unfortunately, I had it good off the line, Bjorn as well. Going to turn 1, he made quite a few moves around the outside. I managed to make up a position or 2. Going into Nashua, Bevan Masters was on the inside. I was in the middle, I got sandwiched. Bevan hit the sausage curb. His car flew into the side of mine. I hit Bjorn quite like a domino effect. Bjorn spun around. I tried to miss him spinning. Unfortunately, I didn't, and I just banged into his side.
Yeah, I mean, me and Kyle, back to Rookie Cup days, next to each other off the start. Both of us had a brilliant start. I mean, I went around the outside of quite a few people. Then I tried to stick it out around the outside of Rashawn. Next thing you know, I felt a tap in my rear end, spun right around. Then, I mean,
Final hit.
Yeah.
I finished it.
I finished the job. So I think, look, racing incidents, racing's tough. Not a great end to what could have been an amazing weekend after going 15th to 10th. But look, it's part of the sport, and we learn from it. So yeah, excited for the next round.
At least people like watching it.
Yeah.
Let's catch up now with our race 2 winner, Mo Karodia.
Race 2 was a better race for me. I was more confident in the car and in myself. So I just kept my head forward and kept on going, eh?
And as we keep going in the Astron Energy Polo Cup, headed to PE on the 10th of May for the third round, Kutsia's got 1 point in it between his teammates and himself, Mo Karodia. Amazing job there from Masters with a little bit of a commanding lead as we head to the Friendly City. All this Polo Cup action was proudly brought to you by Astron Energy, Volkswagen Motorsport, and Dunlop Tires.